Is it?
It is recording. Woo!
Woo.
Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Wow.
I get really awkward when I'm in front of a camera. Okay, let's go. Okay, so our top is anxiety. And, okay, this is really bad. It is relevant to graduating youth today because roughly 25% of 13 to 18-year-old kids have a lifetime prevalence of anxiety, meaning that they have experienced anxiety in a severe way at least once or twice. Or 5.9% of 13 to 18-year-olds have a lifetime prevalence of severe disorder, meaning that they have been diagnosed and consistently deal with anxiety. And things that can... What's the word?
What?
What's the word?
Or
Cause anxiety, that's the word. Things that could cause anxiety, and because people aren't born with it, it can be brought onto you accidentally, just like how you treated. So then if you're treated bad, like you're bullied and stuff, then you could have anxiety of going out into public and how people are going to treat you in public. And then you just I'm 99% sure we're both nervous about this presentation right now, but we're doing it, and that's anxiety because you don't know what people are going to think, and then we weren't going to do it because we didn't know what people were going to think about it. And okay, so some arguments that people say against people with anxiety is you're so annoying, and but people with anxiety, they don't want anxiety. So basically, people with anxiety would be if I could change, I would. This is not something that you want to have. And God, and then people use, God says to cast your anxieties on Him. And then people with anxiety who are Christians are I try and I do, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't affect my life. God doesn't take away our problems just because we ask Him to. He still wants us to learn things. And they also argue if you had more friends you'd be in a better state, but then people respond with that's just it. Relationships are hard for me because it's hard to get legit deep friendships because they're anxious about what people are thinking and how they're going to treat them after that, which is why a lot of people just don't talk about it, and then that leads to depression and self-harm and so on. And then people without anxiety say that people are faking their anxiety, and then people with anxiety say actually no one should want to fake this or should fake this. It's not fun to have, it's just something that happens. Yeah, it sucks. Hardcore, it sucks.
mm-hmm.
It's basically when I have a panic attack, it's I'm dying and I can't breathe, and then I pinch my skin, which isn't good, but whatever, my life goes on. Okay. So dealing with your anxiety is there's two ways to deal with anxiety, in a good way and a bad way. a good way would be like to obviously pray, talk to people, talk to your friends, your parents, a counselor, see a doctor, figure out ways to get through it on your own, and if drawing or painting or whatever like calms you down, then do that, because it's not worth having those fears.
Like find something that you love to do to distract yourself.
I know. When I was younger, when I had when I was doing when I had anxiety about presentations like this, meeting new people, and so on, I would scratch myself, and then my arms would get really red, and then they would bleed, obviously, and bruise, and I would cut my arms open, which I'm done with that now because I found better ways to deal with it. But it wasn't, at the time I had no other way, but like I know other ideas on how to deal with it, which sucked. And I wish I hadn't do it. It's not a good way to deal with your anxiety, because you get hurting your own body to get through something that your body is doing to yourself. So we have the 5 P's. Are a precept would be like to try and take care of your anxiety the best you can, and let's say if going to parties with people you don't know gives you anxiety and it makes you in an unhealthy state, then just don't go, or find someone to go with you. And the principle would be to control your anxiety, not let it control you, because if you let it control you, then your life will go bloop, and then suddenly you're in some sort of, you're in jail because you did something stupid because you couldn't control your anxiety. What it says about the person of God is, well, he says to cast anxieties on him, which is whatever, obviously do that, and it says that he cares. When he says casting your anxiety on me, it means that he cares about what you're going through, what you're passionate about, because when people are in an anxious state, they they can't control themselves, and it's like they're being controlled by something else. They can pull out their hair, they can, like I did, scratch myself, or cut your arms open, or bruise, and it's a bad thing. But if you cast what you're going through onto God, then God will take care of it, and He will take care of you, and it will all work out for the better, because anything God does is for a reason, because anything that happens has to go through God first, and He decides everything. With provision, you have a better way to deal with your anxiety rather than hurting yourself and others, because if you hurt yourself and then people find out, then they're all sad, and then they ask you, well, what's wrong? Like, why didn't you tell me? Like, I'm hurt that you didn't talk to me about it. But it's like, I didn't think I could because I didn't know how you'd understand it. And it's actually like an unending cycle of anxiety because you don't know what the other people are thinking. So if you don't tell them because you don't know what they're thinking, then they find out, they get offended, but then you say, I didn't know what you were gonna think, and then I didn't know how to tell you. So then it's just all of this anxiety bundled up. But if you give it, like I said before, give it to God, and then it's easier to or talk to like someone you trust, someone older than you. Talking to your friends is great, but don't give every detail to them because it affects them too much. Then, because if they're true friends, they'll actually care. They're not going to leave you. And the protection is from potential death, because if you're, you get it. And physical harm, like, you get that as well. And bad mental health, because when you're done high school and you're done things where your parents are there, or you're with your friends all the time that you've been with since some kindergarten, some grade 7 at our school, you don't know how to act without them there. Personally, for me, I didn't want to go to university or college because I wouldn't know anyone, and then I wouldn't have I would have a good time, and I wouldn't do good in classes there because I'd be uncomfortable, and then I would be thinking, what is everybody thinking of me? But in reality, no one is actually thinking about what you are, nobody's actually like looking at you, thinking about you. Like, not everybody's doing it. There might be like 2 people out of 50, but everybody's always looking at someone. And I have something. Okay. So, people can also argue that like having anxiety is selfish because you're thinking of yourself, and people are looking at me, people are judging me, people are whatever, and you think all the attention's on you. But it's not like a bad type of selfish. There's a difference between it's all mine, like I'm better than you and I deserve this, so it's all mine and I just get everything. And versus everybody's looking at me, I don't know what to do. What are they thinking of me? Are those people in the hallway talking about me? But you just gotta learn to like block out the haters, because they suck and they have no right to do anything to you. And if they bug you, just either ignore them or like and it's very, very relevant, because a lot of my friends, both of us, and my old friends, we all struggle with anxiety, and everybody struggles with anxiety at some point, but like there's a difference between just having it and then actually being diagnosed with it and living with it, because living with it is not fun. Okay, now some Bible verses about anxiety. Isaiah 41 verse 10 says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Self-explanatory. Do you want to read the third one? Like that one?
Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Jesus Christ.
Philippians 4 verse 6 to 7. And for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1 verse 7, and that verse is very important. God, yes, you can't come in here, Mom. You can't come in. Mom, it's so good. Anyways, I think that's a very important verse. God created us, and He has made everything, and He gave us our strengths and our weaknesses, the good things about us and the bad things about us. But I think personally that anxiety comes from the devil, because Satan wants you to be anxious about things. He doesn't care about us. He'll trick us to thinking he cares about us, and then he'll trick us into hurting ourselves. Like self-harm is the only way to get rid of your anxiety, but actually God is the best way and basically the only way. I have another verse. When anxiety was great within me, your consolation brought joy to my soul. Psalm 94 verse 19. And I think that means just God's presence made whoever, probably David wrote this psalm, whoever made him happy and made him joyful and made him forget about that or whatever he's going through. And this is a very important verse, just how to treat people with anxiety is an anxious heart weighs a man down, but a kind word cheers him up. Proverbs 12 verse 25. If somebody is dealing with, has a panic attack, or is dealing with like lots of anxiety about something, don't treat them like crap and don't just brush it off. Like, it's actually very important that you actually care, because people with anxiety often care more about others and less about themselves. So if when they're talking to you, they really want you to know what's going on, and like they want you to care and just be kind to them and help them get through it. And another one is Joshua 1 verse 9. Have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous, do not be terrified, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. And this isn't saying that having anxiety is a sin. That's not what it's saying at all. It's saying give it, obviously, like in the other verse, give it to God, and know that God will always be with you, where obviously, like wherever you go, like He never leaves us, no matter how hard we try. He's just always gonna be right here. And yeah, interviews are gonna be after the video.